if you're an artist, man, you really just have to believe in yourself, even though it's so hard. You really have to chase it, and that's really on you too. And I think like because it affects so many people, especially if you're a director or a leader, like you really have to stay on it. Like you really have to stay like confident in yourself, and that was really hard for me. I'll admit that, because I'm always so quick to throw a pity party, and you can't do that for yourself. And for anyone that's watching, don't do that. As an artist,
you gotta stick behind your art even if it's bad, and you gotta just that's how you learn. Continue to learn if you're doing like shitty movies. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Film Goals podcast. Today I'm with the one and only Brylle Gaviola. My boy. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man. Finally.
I know.
So Bryle is a filmmaker. He coined the term cinematic storyteller.
Oh, shit. That's right.
And he does producing, directing, writing. He's a great writer.
Thank you.
And you've authored 2 books, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll talk about all that. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Excited to be a part of this podcast.
Thanks, man. So let's start at the beginning. Like, I always ask everyone, what's the inspiration for you to get into filmmaking?
I guess because my creative foundation has always been writing, and I kind of wanted to always to take like the next step on it, which is making movies. I think movie making is the ultimate form of storytelling. So if you want to tell stories, you definitely go to cinema, and you go to a movie, and you sit there for 2 to 2.5 hours, and you just immerse yourself in a story. So that's kind of like the reason why I wanted to do movies.
So since writing came first, did you want to like write movies first, or what was the first like spark of creativity?
I guess I just wanted to I knew I could write a good movie. I just wanted to like become a director after that, and like try to have full control of like telling my stories. So I guess to answer your question, yes, it started off as writing, but then the end goal was to become a director at the end of it. So yeah.
Do you remember the first thing you ever wrote?
Oh yeah, I wrote this thing called Strangers. I can probably give you some of the video off of that too.
Well, that was your first.
Yeah, with Aaron.
Script? No, like first script or anything ever.
Yeah, actually, yes, the first
story you
story I wrote. Yeah, for to be shown on camera and shot. So that
nice. That was the first. Did you ever? I know, because I know you do poetry.
Oh yeah,
did you do poetry first, or did you do screenwriting first?
No, I did poetry first. So I went to poetry, and then I did short stories, and then that's what I went to CSN for. Then I got recruited at CSN to go to AI, which is the Art Institute of Las Vegas, and then that's kind of how I got the idea and went there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, what did you do at AI? Like, what was the focus?
What was the focus? I went there because there was more opportunities to interact with like the professors, like all the professionals in the field. Mm-hmm. So what I did there was, other than the general classes that I took all the film classes there, and just studied all the basics. And it was there that I learned about certain types of movies, like classic movies and stuff like that. So learning from those like directors like Billy Wilder, and who else is there? Like right off the top of my head. Oh man, I'm freezing. Billy Wilder is definitely the one. If you know who that is, it's the guy who did Double Indemnity. So I always kind of wanted to shoot noir films. I never had that. I was always insecure to write it because I could never think I could write a good one. Mm-hmm. I can write a good love story, which is what I always write, which is kind of like weird, but I know.
But noir is like...
Noir is something that I always want to write because I feel like, I like the femme fatale type of things, and I always kind of am drawn to like certain like neo-noirs, even like the newer ones too. Like, I don't know, on the top of my head, like maybe Blade Runner was one of them a long time ago. But
yeah, so then talk a little bit about your like experience with film school.
Experience? Yeah. Well, there's a I guess you could say like a bittersweet experience. Sometimes a lot of people say you don't need to go to film school, which is true, and some of our best friends, I'm not gonna name anybody, Sean. Just kidding. No, I mean
Sean.
Yeah, Sean. But anyway, yeah, because sometimes it could be just a money grab, but for me, I just kind of wanted to complete it for myself. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna knock on anyone like, oh, I got a degree. I know some of my friends would like make fun of that, but I don't. I just, something that I'm proud of, and I did it for myself, and like so I can, it's like my proof that I've finished something and that I could actually follow through on something and get something done. And I guess when I say bittersweet, it's because I went to school, and although I did learn a lot of stuff from the professors, I guess the negative part of it is that they could just like throw up a video on YouTube, which is something that I could just do ourselves. Like we can do ourselves and just learn off YouTube. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I say. Like it's a bittersweet because you can just teach yourself. Like that's why sometimes I tell people like, if you don't want to waste too much money, if a degree is not like important to you, which it was to me, just go on YouTube. And I feel like there's a lot of like filmmakers that do that nowadays. They just go to YouTube, learn off the basics and try to build off of that. For me, I just kind of wanted to develop that type of foundation for filmmaking, and I wanted to, have that in my resume as well. Like here's my degree. This is something that I really dedicated myself to, and hopefully during job interviews, I know it might not like help that much, but I think it would in some cases where they look at it and like, oh yeah, this guy really dedicated himself for this field. So
that's dope, man. Yeah, I think everyone has like a different experience when it comes to that. I think it's like a personal choice of, and it helps some people more than others. Yeah. Like if you go to USC, I'm sure it's like. Yeah,
I know, seriously. But you went to UNR, right? So how was like.
I went to UNR, but I didn't do film school. I did digital media.
That's the same thing. At least I feel like even if you just have something, like, because you have some sort of education and it shows that you can critically think, you can like analyze, and you know how to do research and like follow through on things. So that's a cool thing to have.
Yeah, for me it was also the same thing, accomplishing something, and it was just kind of like the first one in the family to do it type thing.
Yeah, see, like
that kind of thing. That's what it was.
Oh, good. I didn't know you were the first one because I know you have an older brother too.
I have an older brother and an older sister, and neither of them. Oh shit. Well, my sister graduated now, so now she's a teacher.
That's dope too.
Yeah. So, but in the beginning she didn't. So I was the first one in my family. And then,
congrats, bro. I didn't know that like that.
But it was like kind of like, as you start going through like the process and you get older and you get into the real world, you're like, it was kind of a scam.
I guess that's why I said it's bittersweet.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's good in one hand. And so it's,
Yeah, now I'm in debt and I got to pay it all off.
Exactly. Fucking Joe Biden. Anyways.
I know. I was pulling for that too. I was like, oh, we're going to get some loan forgiveness. No.
He's like, no, motherfuckers. Anyways. All right. So let's talk about, your first project, Strangers. Talk a little bit about like what inspired that.
I guess that one, I would just try to find the most simplest way to make a film with the strength of what I had in writing, which was like dialogue and a love story. So it was kind of like I guess when I pitched it to my class, it was something just sort of like two people meet up at a bar, two strangers, and this guy gives this girl a riddle, or I forgot. Is it the other way around? Yeah, I guess they just have this conversation basically, and at the end of the whole conversation, they end up leaving together, and that's kind of like what it is. That's it.
No, it was a good story. I remember, and I also played the bartender.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say. You were the bartender, and
then my voice got altered by
yeah, I guess because like we had a bunch of like students on there too, so it was like all of us learning it at the same time. So, and it's kind of crazy because he shout out to Victor, who was the guy who did the audio. He actually put on his reel, and the one that he put on his reel actually like was good. Like I think he just found out he just had to figure out how to make it all work, and he said like, dude, it sounds like 10 times better than what I had. I was like, oh, thank you for giving me the shitty audio. but I'm glad that he
I was like, hey man, I don't sound like that. I was like, hey, what's up? What do you want to drink, babe? Whatever the line was. Oh yeah, that show was funny.
It's like, hey, last call.
I was like,
no, it was good. It was a tough experience too, because like low key I got that bar, and then I tried to stay in contact with that bar owner, but like I guess it just kind of all fell apart after that. I
think like it went through different owners, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. I think it did,
because I think someone else owned it.
It was called the Sand Dollar. It was on Polaris. Yeah. I mean, I'll post. You can post some footage on.
Yeah, I'll post the links to it. So yeah, then what was? Do you remember what was next?
What was next?
Oh, was it the studio web series?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's shout it out. That's all of us. I think a lot of people. I mean, during the time, there's GIFs about it everywhere. And we can even try to show some of that. But thanks to Sean, we have GIFs all over the I guess the world. I think a lot of people just, you can see it randomly. We get like messages from random people saying like, "Hey, is this you? Is this you? Is this Juan?" And then like I know Taylor, who's one of our friends that were in the plays Lexi. She always kind of messages us like, "Oh my God, that stuff is still like going around."
Her GIF is going GIF, whatever. She's going viral.
Yeah.
Her and Juan, I think, are like the most.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And then anything that deals with Filipino, like I'm in it. Like that's like a key word. It's like if you type in something Filipino something and it's gonna like pop up.
So just talk a little bit about the experience with that, with the web series.
Honestly, that's probably like one of our funnest times, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It was such a, I kind of miss those moments because it was like risk free. We could like make jokes about anything. And it was like the writing was just, it just came, like all we had to do was like think of something really obscure and try to bring it to life. And I think, yeah, I mean, I'm down to do like another season, but we'll see. I mean,
everyone's separated. Like we're here.
Yeah.
You, me, and Juan are here, and Taylor. But like Sean is like somewhere in the East Coast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Tommy's in LA. And it's like we got to get everyone back together. So
just for like
we're gonna do
like
it one day.
We have to at some point, but like it was funny. I mean, I showed a couple people and they were like, "Oh, this is actually really funny. Like, why don't you do it? Keep doing it." I just think we just all wanted to pursue like different things, and
I think after the studio shut down, it was kind of like we all kind of went to survival mode and getting a job. And,
I think that, and then I'm not gonna even lie. I got bitter at a lot of things. So I mean, I had to change my personality, and I mean, I'm slowly getting back to it, but that's kind of what I have to, face right now. So
yeah, man, that was some good times. So then let's talk about what did you do after that? Because we did you did a few shorts. We did Chiron.
Oh yeah, and, I mean a lot of people love that one too. I think
talk about the inspiration for Chiron.
Oh, for Chiron,
that one was cool.
Yeah, that one was cool. So I don't
like my acting, but it was cool.
It was great. I think you should give yourself a little bit more credit for that, dude. I think a lot of people love that. Yeah, so let me talk about that. So Chiron is basically based on this Greek character. He is the ferryman for Hades, and he basically just, he's the guy who I don't want to say drive, but I want to say paddle. I guess in the case of my short, drive. But he's the guy who goes on the river Styx, and he just kind of goes back and forth and transferring souls from the living to the dead, or to Hades as well in this case. Yeah, so it's basically based off that Greek character, and you play that character who is Chiron, who is the ferryman that goes and brings souls to Hades, which Sean plays as like the bad guy, the evil guy, the boss. And Veronica plays Persephone, and she's the girl that, Persephone, if you know Greek mythology, is the wife of Hades. So...
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So, yeah, that's where... And then I don't know if you know too much of the story about Persephone, but, like, it's a tragic story where, like, I guess Hades sees her one day out of the underworld, and he, like, basically steals her and takes her down there and forces, I guess, it's Stockholm Syndrome, how you would say it nowadays. I think that's how I'm picking it up. I don't know if I'm interpreting that correctly, but that's kind of what happens. And, they fall in love or something like that, or she's, like, forced to fall in love with him.
And talk about how you were able to, like, because that's that mythology. How you were able to, like, modernize it
to adapt it
for this short? Yeah, adapt it or whatever.
I mean, thanks to you though. Like you guys brought all your A game. You used your car a lot, and then we just kind of like went on the Vegas Strip. Vegas Strip played the River Styx, and it was just we're going back and forth and just running lines. And sorry, what was your question?
So what was the thought into modernizing it?
The thought into modernizing it was like, it's just, I wanted a simple concept, and it's like, we live in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Strip, and then, Sin City is like what we're known for, and I figured like, let's write something. That's like kind of my first attempt at like a noir, basically. So it's like a crime noir, and I was like, I can probably see, I've always been a fan of Greek mythology, so I always kind of wanted to pull different Greek mythology stories and try to modernize it. So that was kind of like the first one that kind of came to my idea. And then I was like, hey, let's head up Angel. I know Angel really wanted to be part of it, and you did really great. You did a lot of the work too. No, it was
fun, but I remember when we were driving, you were like, so I was driving.
Oh, yeah.
Veronica was in the back, and you were like in the front seat, and you're like this with the camera.
Yeah.
And I just remember driving, and I was like, oh, man, we got an illegal down here.
No, that was a funny one. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like a compact dude. Like I'm like
yeah, you were just like you just fit in there. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I didn't even think about it that time too. Like how hilarious it was. I just was like, I'm gonna get this shot. You know, we took out the headrest like in every
like
part.
Every film.
Yeah, every film we took out the headrest, and then it's like.
Yeah, but we did drive down the strip, like, and it was. I think it was like, if I remember correctly, I think it was like St. Patrick's Day weekend.
It was. I think you're right.
The strip was packed, so we were trying to like get that driving shots, and we would always come to a stop. Yeah. So then we'd have to wait. Oh yeah. Just, like, I mean, at least we're in the car and we're not walking, but like we would wait, and they're like, oh, finally we can go. And then we would drive, and then we like it was like
that was
it took a long it took like a few hours.
It did.
But it was fun.
Yeah, and then Zori was in it, and
Zori and Lizette, and Sean was the bad guy. So
that was a good one.
Shout out to them. No, that was a fun one, man. Yeah, see now I see it in a different perspective because I didn't know that Persephone was the wife of Hades.
Yeah, I mean that's
so then was Persephone in the short Sean's wife?
No, it was like I guess it was just alluding to the because I kind of like. I just use the character names basically. Mm-hmm. So Hades is like, so I guess like anyone that recognizes Greek mythology can pick that up. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why kind of the name drop was a little bit interesting to me. Yeah. I didn't know if that much people picked up on it, but yeah, that was like.
Yeah, I didn't know Chiron was a Greek name until you brought it up. Yeah. To send me the script, I was like, I didn't know what Chiron was.
Oh yeah, I think that's the thing too. I wasn't really good at like marketing my stuff back then, or like letting people know what it was about. But
no, people that saw it like they liked it. People that I showed it to, they were like, yeah.
Oh shit.
Even I was like, I was like, just don't look at my acting, but they were like, yeah, it was good.
Oh shit, that's cool. That's nice to hear.
So. Yeah, man. Is it on YouTube or anywhere? I'll post a link so people.
Yeah, it's on my Vimeo too, and then I'll put it on YouTube too.
Send me the links and I'll post them. And people can check them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Let's talk about the next project. What did you do after that?
After Chiron, man, what did we do? I think we did the 48, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
We did Bartender Cowboy. Did we not?
Yeah, I think so.
And then.
So talk about your experience with 48. What made you want to?
I mean, I feel like
you were the one who came as a team leader. You're like, hey, let's do the 48.
Yeah, I think for me it was just shout out to Taylor and Joe Lujan for putting me in as an actor in like one of their first 48s, and that was like my first experience. Mm-hmm. I just kind of always looked at it as like a good way to, put yourself out there. I think we did it the right way, Fran and I, just to showcase everybody's talents, and we killed it. I think that was like a lot of people told us that was like kind of the best 48 they've seen. Like I didn't expect that kind of quality.
But as a team leader, how was as a team leader, how was like your experience?
Oh my bad.
No, it's all good. When you first did the 48 as a filmmaker.
Oh, okay. So
before we talk about the hosting.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, so for Bartender Cowboy, my first experience as a team leader, it was an honor. And, a lot of people trusted in me, and they had a lot of ideas that they wanted to bring to the table. And I was just like, so when you guys came up with the story idea, and I sat down and like just typed away, I just kind of like wanted to make something that everybody like had fun with, like enjoyed, and we all did, and it showed in the film. And I didn't care if we were gonna win or lose. It's just like I'm glad that we just made a film that was fun to see.
Yeah, it was cool because I think that was kind of like when we started expanding our network more, started meeting more people.
Yeah.
So that was the cool thing about the 48. Like, you start meeting people that you wouldn't meet before.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it's a great way to network.
Yeah, so we also, like, we didn't expect, like you said, we didn't expect to, like, win anything, but we got, like, hella nominations.
Yeah, I think I need to put that on all of our IMDb's, too. Like, I just had to figure out how to do that. I didn't know you could actually, like submit for nominations, and I was like, why didn't I think of that before? But I just
so we got hella nominations, and we got best writing.
Yeah,
so that's like to you because you wrote it.
I mean, it was just basically everybody's ideas. Like, I put story by you guys, like you, Aaron, what's her name, Christian, Teddy, you.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. And then I remember it was funny because we got mockumentary comedy,
which is like
what we are just done.
Yeah, we just done the whole Band JJ Media stuff.
The studio was just all documentary comedy.
Yeah, and we were like kind of prepared for it. So I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Like, just make it ridiculously fun.
It was like hella fun. I was like, really? I was like, we could have got something else, but
I know, because I was like ready for the challenge too, and I was just like, huh. And then it's like, oh, mockumentary, okay, comedy. It's like, well, we can do both. We ended up doing both. So
yeah, so we were able to do from there. So you got top 40 or something from that film?
Oh, yeah. So we got so after that we did
Because we got. So how does that work? Because I don't really remember.
Yeah, so they emailed me saying that if we wanted to participate in the world competition with all the other countries for the best, and so they, from what I can remember, was that the top 3 teams in each city gets to participate in this challenge.
Oh, so we were top 3.
We were top 3.
Oh,
so
shit,
I guess we were supposed to have first, second. I don't know if you remember it. There was a first place, and then there was a runner-up, and then I don't know if there was a third place. Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, because I remember us not having a third place. So they said that if there wasn't a third place in the email, I remember reading that it was going to be the one that had best writing. So that was like the next.
Oh, I see. So that's how we got to.
So that's how we got the email. We got invited, and we did it again. And this time, Fran was involved, and Uvia was involved, and we had our heavy hitters like Teddy and Aaron and you guys.
Yeah.
I know you didn't want acting anymore, but like, no, it's okay. I know. Yeah. I know I wanted to let you act, but you retired.
Yeah.
You retired from acting. But I'm always
retired after Peter's Road.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was right. I mean, yeah, okay.
But yeah. But I know I didn't want to act for that one either. I was just like, hey, I'll help you produce or whatever.
Yeah. And you did.
I was just there, I think, crew and all that.
And even in the moment, like in hindsight, I kind of like. I guess I took everything for granted, but yeah. So that experience was, it was. I think it was a little bit more, because like the more challenging because the genre was more challenging, and I wrote this buddy film / like animal film, right? I think that's what we pulled.
I don't remember what it was.
And
I know it was buddy film.
I don't know why I was so adamant about the animals though, but I was like. I felt like I just had this great idea. I don't know if I watched too many Studio Jubilee movies or something.
I think that's what it was.
I think I watched like Ponyo or something, and then like I was like, dude, I think I can make this work. I don't think anything has been done, and it was like weird, like this fish magically turns into. I think I was like in my creative mode, and I went too far off the boundaries, and I was just like, oh man. Like looking back on it, I guess I was just kind of like more insecure about it now. But it was cool because I think the whole one-shotter scene. I think. That whole performance at that living room scene was amazing. Mm-hmm. But
no, it was funny because like I remember when you guys were writing it, you guys kept talking about Studio Jubilee and Ponyo, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I was like, I've never seen that shit. Yeah. And then you guys were like, oh, it's about Ponyo. He's a fish and turns into a human or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, Little Mermaid or some shit. Yeah. And then
I think you should have been like right there. You're just like, bro.
No, I was down. I was down.
No, I know. I'm saying that you should have stopped me at that point. You're like,
I was down. I was like, okay.
No, you were down. You're always the real one. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I took like all that stuff for granted. And I was just like, man, what? I was like, I got so ambitious with it. I was like, the whole world is gonna see this.
It was cool though, because it was like I did like the fish thing was whatever. No, it was funny. But then like I also liked the element of the mob that you put in there. Like you put the mob in there. And then now it's like this mob thing with this like fish. So it was interesting, man. It was funny.
I know it was pretty interesting. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I forgot why that genre was a buddy slash.
It must have been animal.
Because I think I wanted two different genres at one time, right?
Because they give you 2 genres.
Yeah, 2 genres. And the thing is, like, I always wanted to challenge myself. I know a lot of people just rather choose one and go with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best movies are more multi-genre. Like, yeah. So I mean, I'm not as ashamed of it now. It's just because like I guess for me it was like it wasn't what I thought in my head it was gonna be.
Yeah, and it out how you.
But it came up top, like you said. It was like top 40 in the world.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was.
That's what
I think that's kind of what it ended up being. Like it turned in on time, but we might have not like. We went up against the whole world, bro. Like
top 40 is a lot, dude. Yeah. So I was like, I was proud of that. Yeah.
Oh, you were? I'm proud.
Because I was like top 40. That's crazy. Even being in that competition is something cool. Because like I was like, what? We get to compete with the world. Yeah. So but yeah, man, that's how we learn. So.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, that was.
I thought everyone was kind of like just.
Forgot that movie?
No, forgot it, but just like, just like,
I always remember.
That didn't want me, like, that hurt my ego or something where it's like, hurt my feelings or like, bro, it's all good. It was good. But, and it was like,
man. Oh, like they were like, oh.
No, that's just me how I think. That's like the imposter syndrome. And
I think we all think like that as artists.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I don't
man, this is garbage. But people are telling you like, no, it's good. And you don't really believe them.
Yeah. I think that's what I have trouble with too. It's like, I don't know for anyone that's watching, it's like, if you're an artist, man, you really just have to believe in yourself, even though it's so hard. It's just, you really have to chase it, and that's really on you too. And I think like because it affects so many people, especially if you're a director or a leader, like you really have to stay on it. Like you really have to stay like confident in yourself, and that was really hard for me. I'll admit that, because I'm always so quick to throw a pity party, and you can't do that for yourself. And for anyone that's watching, don't do that. As an artist,
you gotta stick behind your art even if it's bad, and you gotta that's how you learn. Continue to learn if you're doing like shitty movies.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I feel the same way, bro. Yeah. When it comes to my art.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we did a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's talk about the 48, because you just hosted the 48.
Yeah, I was a co-producer, yes.
And a co-producer for the 48, and like it was dope, man. There was so many people showed up.
Yeah, I wasn't
there was a lot of good movies, a lot of good filmmakers. So tell me, like, what was the process like, and what was your experience with it?
So my process was okay. So, I mean, they emailed me, and then I, sent the email to the group chat to the team that I usually always work with, and then, Fran signed up. She got chosen for the city producer, and then I was just like, okay, like, let's roll with it now. And then there's a lot of hesitations, because we reached out to a lot of other producers, and we got a lot of negative feedback. I don't want to say like too much on that, but it's like, I feel like in this process, what we and Fran found out, it's like really what you put into it. So if you really, and I'm not saying that the producers didn't put enough into it. I think it's just like, I guess like you just focus on like helping the filmmakers out, and that energy will come back to you. And I know that Fran and I, we reached out to like a lot of the filmmakers. I think there was a little hesitation because of like the reputation that the 48 has. And I know it's not always as bright, but I think me and Fran focused on, just helping the filmmakers out as much as we can, give them the best venue that we could afford, and give them, the best resources that we can for them to make a great film, and put them in the best positions as possible. And I mean, I don't know what it was, but yeah, we got a lot of good reception, and
you guys got a lot of teams too. You guys got like 20 teams or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what Fran said.
Yeah, we had a lot of teams, and we didn't expect that many teams, to be honest. We were expecting like maybe 15, but
that's still a lot.
I mean, because like 15 was like the most that we've been in when we did Bartender Cowboy. But I don't know if this was the most that we've had, but I'm proud of that what we did.
Yeah, that was a cool event. A lot of people showed up. There was a lot of good movies, man. I was impressed with a lot of movies.
I kind of was impressed too.
I was like, damn, what people got good cameras. People got good fucking.
I know, because when we did it was a lot. You can just see the level of like talent, you know what I mean, when we did it before. And I think for this one, I don't know if it was the luck we drew, but when I hosted a workshop too, I was telling people like, hey, just get like the best you can, and just focus on the story, and focus on audio. And I know it's hard to do that, and even some of the stuff had audio issues too with some of the films, but it was better than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, like I feel like there's so much out there, like accessible cameras and shit, so everything looks so fucking good now. Like when we were doing it, it was like we had DSLRs, and like now everything's a lot more accessible.
I think even then, like the Blackmagic stuff and the Sony's even got a lot more.
Yeah, they got a lot better. And it's not just the camera; like people told good stories. Like so it was cool, man.
Yeah, just focus on telling good stories, and I think that's what I always told all of the filmmakers too, was that just focus on a great story. Like don't focus on winning. Tell it, because it's more than like what our goal was to make sure that they had something after the 48, not just make something for the 48, make something for themselves, and a film that they can like submit to other festivals as well. And that's what the main focus was for all of them, for us to tell them, because it's more than just the 48, it's their careers that we try to focus on.
Yeah, and like the connections that they make.
Yeah, the connection, like, that too, like the connections that they make and network at the event.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that's what happened, and a lot of people gave us like a really positive reception on it. So
that's dope, bro.
Yeah,
no, it was fun. So what you got going on next, bro? What you working on? I know you and Jordan are working on a documentary. He's working on a documentary. I'm just working with Jordan a little bit more too. We want to build up our podcast back up to something like this too as well. Dope.
Just to build an audience, just like how you are. And I guess right now we could say like we're trying to write a feature. That's like the next step, I feel like, to get on that next category for everybody. I mean, you were able to pull it off with making an anthology, and everyone should go definitely check that out.
Oh, we got to talk about it real quick.
Yeah, talk about it. Shout out to them.
Well, let's talk about you did the couple. I brought the to you and Fran like the idea of like, hey, I'm doing an anthology.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? So talk about the couple. Like, what was the inspiration for that, and then what the film's about?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another project that we did. I think that was like before even we did after we did the 48. So that's another film we did called The Couple for the Anthology for You. It was hard for me to write because it's such a personal story too, and yeah, I kind of came to fruition from. I guess I got kind of the idea from, I feel like every couple goes through some things, and I feel like relationships were tested during the COVID too. Mm-hmm. And not even just me, but like I know from my friends personally, like my other friends that you've met before, have been through like some rough stuff, like back and forth, like blaming each other, and like who, like the scope of the COVID and who took it serious, who didn't, and stuff like that. So it's like I felt like a lot of people went through that stuff, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe hopefully when you guys watch it, you guys feel, a certain way. And I kind of wanted to write like, a happy ending. When I was writing it, I had those couples in mind. I had my own relationship in mind, and I had like, I just kind of took like the bare bones of what happened with me, and I just kind of expanded on it, and I just gave it, I just put it towards like cinematic dramatic writing. And the only thing that we had an issue with was like, the certain things that we bicker about all the time.
Yeah.
And just expand.
And like COVID or being in quarantine or being in the pandemic just kind of enhanced those arguments, or that,
it did.
Like you said, it tested relationships. So that's what I liked about that short. It's like a hell of people I'm sure went through that. Like people got stuck with their partners.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was relatable to everyone. So once everyone sees it, I hope they like it. It's a good film, and it's super short. It's only like 12 minutes.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just didn't want to drag it on too much because I don't know. Originally, I had this idea, and it just kept dragging on that idea, and I think people would be like, what? Just get to the point, bro. And it's like,
No, but it's good. It's compact, and it gets the point across. So yeah.
That was
cool, man. So yeah, sorry I cut you off because we talked about the couple. Talk about your next projects coming up, and like, what are you working on next?
Oh, the next project, it's just a feature. Me and Jordan are working on it. Do
you have a genre or an idea?
So the genre, I'm still in the writing phase of it, but it's a heist film. It's like a heist. Nice. And I don't know what the other genre is going to be. Like, I do like to make genres, so it's going to be, we're kind of throw some comedy in there, but I also want it to make it like a suspense. Like, I guess you would try to say like it's kind of like a Reservoir Dogs type of deal. So, I don't want to do another Reservoir Dogs, but I do want to make like something along the lines of a heist movie like that, but where it's different perspectives, and we can kind of build on each character and try to make like kind of like what you did with the anthology, like a short film for each character, and to build a story, and then to make like it into a feature. Or like, like what's that show called? Kaleidoscope, something like that.
I didn't see it yet.
Oh, it's like that. So it's like from different points of views.
Yeah.
And it's, like Kaleidoscope, Reservoir Dogs is another reference from there. How do you say it? Like Drive maybe? Mm-hmm. Or The Lookout with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is another reference that you can probably locate. Yeah. So that's kind of like what the genre is and what we're going for right now. So
talk a little bit about the documentary. What is that about?
I know Jordan wanted to do a documentary on Barry's gym, Barry's boxing gym, because he's a good friend with Barry. I recently just met him. That was the first time me meeting him on that day that you saw us. Mm-hmm. It's cool. I think what Jordan gave me the gist of it. He just wants to pitch a documentary on this boxing gym and a couple boxers that are coming up on there. So. Yeah, that's basically it. Just basically Barry's gym, what he does for the community, and what these boxers are, their careers are going to be looking like training at this gym. So, yeah, we have to look out for that. And I know Jordan's trying to pitch that to, I forgot what network he was trying to pitch it to, but that's what we're working on right now.
Cool. Well, when Jordan comes on here, I'll talk to him. I'll grill him about it.
Yeah, grill him about it. He has more of the ideas. I'm just trying to help him. Come.
Nah, that's cool. So you're shooting it and helping him out.
Yeah, helping him out. He's producing it, and also directing it, and then I'm writing and directing, with Jordan for the heist film, and then Jordan just said he wants to produce it. And he just wants to. Is he
acting in it?
He's acting in it. Yes, he's gonna be the lead actor. He just wants to be in a heist movie, basically. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, I like the idea. Noir heist movie. So I kind of, and from the 48, we met a lot of great actors. So I'm trying to get them all involved and just trying to make it.
Just trying to make it. All right, bro. Well, that's Brylle Gaviola. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We started in the beginning, and now we're still going. So
we're still going.
So yeah,
hopefully I'll come back, man. Have me back. This is cool. I like this.
Yeah, man, for sure. So that's Brylle Gaviola. I'll put all his links below, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out. Thank you.